Kanye West said he had to wire his mouth shut to stop sucking dick. He said that's the reason he wore a mouthpiece. Now, if I had a woman in my crib and she was like, you know what, it would be a mouthpiece in my house stack. I'll throw them all in the garbage. Hit the button, Steve. But you know what? How the fuck a nigga got him wire his mouth shut for sucking dick? You know what I mean? I mean, shut the fuck up from talking. You go, what?
Shut the fuck up from talking.
What you gotta wire your mouth shut for sucking dick? You piece of shit, Chicago ass nigga. You got your bitch running around here half naked, going everywhere. Married her. Oh, the nerve of you. You went to Beasley. You was on the south side of Chicago, and now you a known dick sucker. You know what I'm saying? At least, you know what? Niggas be, at least R. Kelly tried to hide sucking dick. They just found that shit out in court. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I crawled on my knees, and I sucked his dick. He was only 15 when I sucked his dick. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck out of here? You know what I'm saying? You know what? And Kanye, with his old goofy ass, he probably be giving head in the car. You know what? I'm gonna suck your dick in my Cybertruck. Loser ass nigga. Wait. You know what I'm saying? The shit probably gonna be charged up. Huh? You gotta wire your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? You gotta wear a mouth. I wear a mouth. Now I can say fag, because now I'm a fag. You know what I'm saying? People had to discover that shit. What do you... Dude, man, I don't want to discover you gay. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I remember when they discovered Dwight Howard was a dick grabber. You know what I'm saying? When they discovered he was a dick grabber, shit, he was like, he came clean. I sucked dick,
You think that had anything to do with them, like, pretty much blackballing them, pause, out of the NBA? You think that had an effect? Somebody might have found out.
But Kanye West was like, I can't stop sucking dick. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, I wish you was a woman. I really do. You know what I'm saying? A nigga says that shit. You know what I'm saying? If a nigga come to me, you know what, Snub? You know what? I'm like, what's up? What's on your mind, Kanye? Snub, I'm from Chicago. You from Chicago, but I'm like, what's going on with you? I would think he'd be like, you know what? I don't like the clothes they sell. I don't like my Huff-Ass Adidas. Ray J put my bitch on camera. But fuck all that. I can't stop sucking dick, There's the fucking dick sucker.
Oh, no.
And then Shannon Sharp comes. But you know what? Everybody's mad at Shannon Sharp. At least the bitch was 19. She wasn't underage. Puffy was sucking little wieners from little wieners, What? Little kids dick, you know what I'm saying? You fucking wiener tot sucking motherfucker. And you wonder why you ain't out of jail yet. You belong in there. You know what I mean?
You belong in there.
If you go sucking niggas, I can't even say that. I don't even know how that goes, you know what I mean? Say something. You know what I mean? I'm upset.
You're disgusting. I see, man. Yeah, man. Hey, it's been part of the world since the beginning, man. Some of the greatest.
What sucking dick? Sucking dick?
Hell yeah. See, Julius Caesar and all them motherfuckers, they was cocksuckers.
You know what? And niggas get caught. When, like, if you get pulled over for a DUI, let's say you get pulled over, and they be like, here, take the breathalyzer and suck on this, A nigga be like, no, I'm not gonna suck on that. I go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be like, no way, I go to jail first before I even suck.
That's why it's hard smoking weed out of the bong and shit. It's either
but how do you ask
too close to crack, dick? It's just
how do you if you're a grown ass man? Yeah. If you're a grown ass man, now I've never asked this question. I've never asked it, but I want to answer. If you're a grown ass man, how do you ask another nigga politely to suck his dick? You know what?
Maybe it's not politely.
You know what? You know
what you about to do?
You know what, Terrence?
You know what you about to do?
You know what, Terrence? Pull your pants down. I want to try something new. This ain't new to you.
It's funny you say Terrence, because Terrence Howard said that's exactly what happened.
He did, didn't he? God damn it. It's terrible.
If a nigga asks me to pull my pants down and he's not a doctor and I'm not in the doctor's office, fuck you, nigga.
He said,
you know what I'm saying? Put your mouthpiece in and shit. You walking around and shit like that. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I suck dick. So what? Yeah, what? Nigga? Fuck out of here.
I think that's what
And
Kanye
don't drink out the bottle. Better get you a cup. You ain't gonna be over here anyway. Keep your dick sucking ass in the living room.
bring
That
your
part.
own cup.
That part.
All right.
We'll never share. There'll never be a sharing.
Yeah, I don't think that's a fair statement. I don't think that's fair. Because, women suck dick all the time, and we share with them.
That's all right.
I share my dick with them.
Long as my dick is the one going in her mouth, I can share with her.
Nasty ass nigga pulling your pants down. You know what? Anybody that pulls their pants down and it's if you ain't straight out the shower, there's something wrong with that. And women, you all know when y'all pussy stink. You know what I'm saying? When y'all take your panties off and y'all throw them straight, you'll be like, woo! And women smell their panties when they take them off. They be like, damn, my move was like this. What the fuck was I on? You know what I'm saying? A lot of women passed up a lot of good dick because they went out and they ain't think a nigga was gonna try to fuck them. And they move wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? She was like, damn, I can't be the bitch out here with the bad move.
The bad move.
I gotta have the right move. You know what I'm saying?
Bitch calling that shit a move.
The
Wild.
The first time that ever happened to me is I go back when I was working at the House of Kicks. You got the party planners, they all in the office, 16 to 21. You know what I'm saying? They go in there like Chuck E. Cheese's. You know what I'm saying? You get your pizza, you get your cake, you get whatever. It's freezing outside. And you know what I'm saying? It's a good temperature in the House of Kicks. I go in the party planner's office and I close the door. The first thing I smelled was warmth. Okay? You know what I'm saying? I don't know why it's warm down there, but it be warm. You know what I'm saying? and that warm smell, you know what I'm saying? It travels. It really does. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what the fuck? And my assistant, one of my assistant managers, Roz G, miss you, Roz. And she came there and she's like, I'm like, man, I didn't know it was warm pussy. I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? And she had some air neutralizer, and she sprayed it, and the can melted. I'm like, man, I couldn't. You gotta be a professional. I'm like, which one of you bitches is riding? It's one of them. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you said it?
I didn't say that. I couldn't say that. I just left out the room. And, but I'm like, that's not good. That's not good for business. You know what I'm saying? People going in there planning parties and shit. And, you gotta. I can't find out whose move was wrong. You just can't go like, is this your move? Is it your move?
How you know it wasn't a fart?
No, it was warm, man.
That's a good point, Steve.
Farts are hot.
What's the difference between warm and hot? Well, I know.
You know what I mean?
This nigga know the wind temperature.
And everybody on Shannon Sharp. At least it was a bed. I thought Shannon Sharp was gay like a club shade. Who calls that shit? You know what I'm saying? You gotta have something real, like the Snub nose show. You know what I mean? Something masculine. And they say, well, she was 19, and at least she was over age. Personally, if you're old enough to sign a contract, you're old enough to get fucked.
Wait, I guess you're right. Technically.
You know what I'm saying?
But not by liquor.
That's the way it goes. And, Kanye West, lucky he a fucking billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Only billionaires can go around saying, you know what, I suck dick.
I just don't understand what the motive or point of that was.
He said he felt like his cousin that was in jail for murdering the pregnant lady, he felt like because he sucked his dick, he think that had something to do with it.
That's wild, man. Hey, that wasn't, that's not enough for a revelation of that magnitude.
You know, in Shannon Sharp, in Shannon Sharp, okay, she was 19. Okay. I remember a story, Stat. Let me tell you a story. Here you go. It was an alligator in California.
Mm-hmm.
It was a baby alligator, a little alligator. And the alligator goes, and he gets loose, and he gets in this swimming pool. It's a little alligator. And the man's daughter comes out, and she sees the alligator in the pool. And she's like, Dad, there's an alligator in the pool. He's like, this ain't no alligator, it's a little thing. So he takes the little baby alligator out. And he feeds it baby shrimp. And he takes care of it. And the alligator started to get bigger now. It's still an alligator. You know what I'm saying? He taught it how to twirl, do the death roll, and everything. But that alligator never bit that motherfucker. He never fucked with that motherfucker. He fucked with him. He was so happy. The alligator was so happy to have a life. And you can't really train the alligator. But what that showed me, if you shoot anybody with respect and decency, you know what I'm saying? Anybody can be trained. Any bitch can be trained. Anybody, you know what I'm saying? But some people think they train somebody and they don't. Look at Six Freedom Roy. You know that both of them motherfuckers got ate up. You can't
I was wondering where that story was going.
You can't train every animal.
All the way around, but you can't
train every animal, especially a wild animal. You know what I'm saying?
Master storyteller.
You meet your bitch. You meet your bitch at the club. She's a wild animal. She's in there. I'm a bottle girl. You know. They think that's a real. It is a real job. You think a bottle girl's a real job, Stat?
Hell yeah, they get paid. If you get paid, it's a job.
Paid. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I want to give. I just want to say I'm sorry that the Pope died. And the Pope that killed white people. That nigga was like 137. And they act like they weren't even expecting that shit. You know what I'm saying? That nigga was on his last leg. And he probably had the best medication he could get. You know what I'm saying? All them Catholic ass popes, they suck dick too. He probably had an IV full of nut.
That part.
Man, I think about people like the Pope dying. I'd be like, man, there ain't no hope for us. Like, when we get sick, it'd be like...
Yeah, if they let the Pope die, they'll give a fuck about you, huh?
Yeah, that science ain't what they say it is. Like,
for sure. That's for sure.
You see people that...
They
would have saved that.
But you know what that's hope for, Steve?
What?
Crackheads. Because when COVID came, I don't give a fuck. Crackheads got different blood. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen a crackhead with COVID. Never. They beat it like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a healthy motherfucker running down the street. A crackhead got COVID. You know what I'm saying? They don't need no fucking... Man, crackheads can survive anything. They be old as hell. You know what I'm saying? You ever have an uncle that been drinking since he was like 11? And he's like 78. And that nigga still living, and his whole family.
Well, as soon as he stopped drinking, that nigga he
died.
Remember the dirtiest man in the world? He finally took a bath, and he died the next day.
What is that about? I feel like that's mental. Like, he be like, nigga, like, I'm used to being that way. Y'all made me this way. I'm out. Like, when people die of heartbreak, like, they been married for like 60 years. They spouse die on Friday and they die on Monday. Like, man, that weekend was horrible. Nigga, like, nigga, fuck that shit.
How you been doing, Stack? What's going on with you? How your kids doing, man?
Man, they wonderful, man. They wonderful. Man. Just took them to the movies.
They went with you to see Sinners?
I saw Sinners. Yeah.
How was it?
It was good, man. It was a good movie. Definitely.
I heard there was a lot of messages in it.
Yeah, demonic shit. It was. I prayed up before I walked in there.
But if you took your kids and said,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was a demonic movie, like a demonic.
My son say I didn't see rougher shit than this.
You know what movie I watched?
He don't know all the nuances and all that.
Yeah,
Like, he's just watching the movie.
I don't know. My man is a bright guy.
Okay. How old is the kids, young man?
He 12 and my daughter 17. So.
Oh, okay. And Jewish, he grown. He be grown next year.
It was a couple sex scenes. I put my hand on her eyes. She's like, dude, get your hands off.
But you ain't put your hand on his eye?
Yeah, I had both of them.
Okay. I thought you covered hers, but not his. Like,
my son, like, I ain't even looking, but I know what they be doing. I was like, your ass crazy.
But that shit, all right, I watched a movie today, and I ain't gonna say it, but called The Conjuring. I watched The Conjuring 1 and Conjuring 2. Right. And what I don't get about The Conjuring, okay? Now I believe in people being possessed. I do.
You believe that in real life? People being possessed?
Absolutely. This is based on a true story.
Oh.
It was based on a true story. Conjuring 1, Conjuring 2, and the devil made me do it.
Well, how many times it happened?
The devil's alive.
And alive.
You know that? And then once his wife got possessed, they stayed in the house. You know what? That's a loss. You know what I'm saying? If you got caught, you get caught. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, God damn, mom's gone. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get out of here. They stayed in the house. They tortured them kids. They were like that. And it wasn't until they killed like 2 of them motherfuckers that they went to a hotel. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Why would you, if my wife got possessed by the devil, or any other
wife time?
Anything. I'd be like,
new wife time.
You know what? I believe. I would. You know what? And I tell the kids, I'm like, you know what? I'm getting the fuck out of here. If you want to stay with mom, you stay. You know what I'm saying? You can stay and die, or leave and survive.
Y'all saw Black Mirror? That first episode of Black Mirror with the
I just watched it.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, that's a crazy show too.
They back.
It's a lot of wild shit coming out, man. And
it's
tying into real life. For real.
Yeah, it's getting closer and closer. Before it was like, in 100 years, this gonna happen. They be like, man, you got
what's the
18 months. Yeah.
What's the scariest movie you seen, Stack?
The Exorcist.
And that's the shit I'm talking about. That shit real. That's based on a true story.
It is. I saw her in I worked in a Best Buy in California, and she walked right past me and smiled, and I was like, she was so pretty. What's her name? Linda. Damn it. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Ronstadt, McMahon. I'm
One of
going
them.
through all my Lindas.
But she was fucking Rick James.
Oh, I do know.
What fucking Rick James?
Linda Blair.
Blair, yep. Yeah.
She was beautiful though. And old. And beautiful.
What scared you about that movie?
How the devil took over her body and she started speaking in tongues. When I was a kid, that was frightening.
That's a frightening as an adult.
Hit the wall. Yeah, it is. But now we laugh at that type of shit. Like, oh.
Fuck that. If anybody hit the wall, you know.
You religious? Or like.
I am.
What's your religion?
Sound like Christian.
I believe in God.
Yeah. Well, Jesus. You believe in Jesus?
Jesus.
So you Christian.
Yes.
So would y'all ever fuck with a Ouija board?
I have.
It never worked for me.
Seems to go against your
I would
faith.
do it again.
I would.
You really want to say,
I'm a man. I'm human.
Like, now that I'm Christian, let's see how this shit work.
I'm human. For sure. And that shit was working. I don't know what was going on.
It was moving them by itself and shit. You wasn't really moving your
My
hands.
It was just you?
No, it was me and a bunch of people.
How do you get together? Like, you know what? Let's get a Ouija board. Let's try it. It's like something.
When you have white friends, that type of shit happens.
Oh, you got white friends. Oh,
okay. I had as a teenager.
Yeah.
Young man.
I feel you.
Yep.
He cultured.
We smoking weed. We doing too much.
You sit somewhere, it's a Ouija board, and like, look at that.
Yeah, I disagreed with it. I definitely did. I was
But you participated.
I was high.
You participated. You can't.
I put one hand on. I ain't gonna do both.
That's just what I do. I had my one hand.
That's how niggas be. Niggas are half-ass and think they didn't do nothing. Like,
it's moving.
I drive you down now. If you
just in case God holler at me about it, like,
I seen a movie called Evil Dead. That shit scared the shit out of me. Part 1 and part 2. And all the movies.
That's possession too?
Yes. The motherfucking movie with what's that movie with That motherfucker who be like, he take your eyes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Jeepers, creepers. He's a scary little motherfucker too.
Those don't really do me nothing. It's like more of the existential shit.
What scares me the most?
What was that Day After Tomorrow where the tsunami like just went over across the world? You saw it take out America and all that shit.
What scares
me?
me?
We can't do nothing. Or
that
like,
was an atomic bomb, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was something like that.
No,
yeah,
it was the media hit some shit.
Yeah. It was just something, but you couldn't do shit. Like it ain't no faith. It don't matter what you. None of that shit matters.
What scares me the most about movies is when they was like, "This is based on a true story." You know, I'm like, that shit really happened. You know?
Yeah. All of that shit where it be like you say a meteor coming, it's just be like, oh, we just gonna look at it. Like ain't shit you can do.
Nothing.
Ooh, that's a nice jersey you got on there, Stack. You know
I appreciate it.
Ooh, the socks. You know, we got the socks Cubs. Shout out to the first place Cubs. I want to say that the Bulls won shit this year. You know what I mean? And you know, and the Bears, they went out and they got another tight end and you know, and they got another receiver. You know, I'm like, if you can't throw the ball to Cole Kmet, you can't throw it to nobody. You know, man. Cole Kmet, he's already there. You know what I mean? I think they addressed the wrong issues. How do you think the draft went, Steve?
Overall or for the Bears?
For the Bears.
I didn't pay too much attention other than the WWE Rollins dude when he announced. Did y'all see that? Y'all saw that when he announced that shit? That shit was dope to me.
Niggas hating niggas too.
And it was in Lambeau Field. The way he was talking shit, he had the big gold belt on. He was like, I know you hate to see gold on the blue. And
I didn't know who that was.
I didn't know who he was either, but
right.
That nigga was talking cash shit.
He was.
You know I know I'm getting old. You know I'm getting old because when I used to watch the draft, I'd be like, ooh, look at that girlfriend. And I'd be like, ooh, look at their mama. I fucking shit out their mama. Hit the button, Steve. Ooh, they mama fine as
What's
fuck.
that man in Washington?
Worthy.
No, he the quarterback for the Commanders. Jalen, yeah. What's shorty?
Jaden
Daniels.
Jaden Daniels and Jalen
His
Hurts.
mama.
Woo!
Hello.
Worthy mama.
Hello.
Worthy mama. Yep. Yeah.
But that's how you like you said. Like
We
never paid attention to their mama. But also, when we in the 80s, they mama was like old. They was like church moms, fat, like you know what I'm saying? Like these moms is
Wearing gold.
Yeah, like
I'm gonna get my mama out of poverty. Now they ain't.
These moms is Instagram models. You be like, hey, you got a little fan base already.
Hell yeah, they got their page already.
OnlyFans and shit popping. Shannon Sharp clearly been on OnlyFans.
Oh wow. Yeah, man.
That bitch had to be. He said he was fucking with her at 2023. And she was 19.
She ain't fucked up 100 times.
It's like over.
Why she coming out now with this shit?
Here's my thing. I think any nigga can get caught up.
Any rich nigga. If you sue me, you ain't gonna get nothing but bubble.
Once you engage, I feel like you can get caught up. Like once y'all exchange numbers and whatever, like she could turn whatever. Once that shit is written out on court document papers, that shit look totally different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I would think that a 50 or 60-year-old man is up on game. You know what I'm saying? Would see that coming. Like even if you do like me right now, the opportunity for you to not like me is way more beneficial for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like even if we did fuck over 100 times, the day that you don't like me, you know what I'm saying? And you still a teenager. You know what I'm saying? Your feelings is up and down. You could talk to a friend group this week and be like, bitch, you fucking with a 60-year-old man? You better cash out.
But it looks
you know what I'm saying?
It looks horrible to the public. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
This nigga, you know what I'm saying?
And you as a 60-year-old man should be able to see that.
But
see that coming.
When you went on the show last time, Stack, the name of the show was You Were Happy Till You Were Nosy.
And look, he back, and now he back on me.
You know that? That bitch probably knows and shit going through. And I thought he was a fan. I thought Shannon Sharp was gay. I didn't know he was fucking little.
I think he is because I think any straight man would have seen this play. I just the way she was talking. When you see if you listen to the tape, he said something and she was like, "You trying to manipulate me?" And then after that, instead of just hanging up the phone, I'd be like, bitch, that don't nobody even talk like that. I'd just hung up the phone. And I'm 46. You're 56, 66, whatever the fuck. You got way more experience than me. Not only did you not hang up the phone, you then say, I'm going to smack the shit out you when I see you again. And then she says, what'd you say? Like, get it. This is recorded. Is this thing on? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
you not shit like that, though.
And he's still,
but he ain't got no motherfucking $100 million.
That, and you also don't, you could play around and jokingly, like, you don't stand firm and be like, look, you heard what I said. Next time I see you, I'm going to smack the shit. Like, the bitch will hang up. You know what I'm saying? For her to stay on the phone, it's like, there's a money play.
But look at Monica Lewinsky. She had net on her fucking dress for 6 years.
She kept that motherfucker.
Freed up, dragged
Anytime you can say,
I don't know what I'm going to do with it,
you
but.
can say anything you want to. You just got to put a giggle at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Next time I see you, I'm going to smack the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying?
That don't work.
That sounds diabolical.
She wouldn't have said shit. It would have went over. Oh, they just playing. Now we got to question this shit. Like, oh, yeah, you might have really meant that shit. You might expect the
job and all that shit.
Yeah, he fucked himself. For real. Pause.
Speaking of that shit.
Where's Michelle at? Remember that bitch he was fucking?
They pulled her out somewhere, too.
She probably finna drop a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Like, they do it.
They said she was mad about Michelle.
But you know what's suspicious about Shannon Sharp? I'll give you this.
And another bitch soon.
He asked her, he offered her $10 million. And she refused. That means she's really upset or he really did something. You know that? And you know what, take this $10 million. You know that? She's like, nah. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think they offered the $10 million in negotiation. They was in mediation. So she had already went to a lawyer.
Man, Derrick Rose and Patrick Kane ain't give them bitches shit. Chicago niggas don't give a woman shit. The snub knows.
Playing it too close.
Stats and facts.
Playing too close.
Yeah,
she could end up with nothing. And I think that's what's going to happen. She's going to end up with nothing.
I don't know.
He offered a $10 million.
The most shit he putting out is making him.
Now he is a dumbass just for talking all this.
If he'd have just let her just keep bumping her gums and everybody.
Yeah, man.
But every time he say
something, like, fuck that bitch. I don't know.
Yeah, like nigga, you better do get you a Megan Good. Be like, nigga, I'm married now.
That shit, dude can't even get a job making good husband. Whatever the fuck his name is.
Jonathan Majors.
Oh, he did a good job of Creed 3. Shouts out. But
you said he did what? He did a
good job with Creed 3. I like Creed, you know. But you know, he still pulled him a dime piece, you know. And you know, they be shitting on niggas. Look at Deion Sanders' son. He ain't get drafted to 144. You think he? There's 144 niggas was better than that nigga Shakur Sanders and that guy.
I don't believe
that nigga built a draft room. If you build a draft room, you gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, or at least in the first round. You can't build a draft room.
Hey, Stack, why do you think he went so low?
Cause he doesn't need any of this. He doesn't need football. He loves to play football. He doesn't need it though. And poverty is
what they
very
looking for.
Important.
Yeah, NFL looking for poverty.
You need poverty.
I don't want you talking back
yes,
to us.
no poverty. Oh,
so how much? So how much of that?
When we draft.
So you think Deion Sanders, his pops had a lot to do with him not being drafted in 144?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
Look at that.
Because they don't want Deion to show up.
Right. You don't. Yeah. You don't want to. Yeah.
Look at the Lonzo balls. The balls.
But that's what I was gonna ask because the balls they got a
the balls.
The balls got a demanding father, or you know.
Bronny. That's why Bronny went where he went.
Do you think it's more?
But Bronny can't. But Bronny ain't no.
Do you think it's
Scottie
more?
Pippen Jr. That nigga can hoop.
What do you think is more of Deion Sanders' celebrity that they're talking to, or more of the fact that Deion is the only coach he had?
I think it's his voice.
Which one is the bigger?
His voice. Well, Colorado wasn't shit.
He's the only coach that they've had.
He's on Shador.
Both of them.
Deion
Shiloh got drafted too.
And of course, he didn't want to coach for the Cowboys. He wanted to coach for Jerry Jones, old faggot ass.
And why they wouldn't talk about Shiloh like they was Shador? They didn't expect him to go first?
They did.
Okay. Nobody.
They let him consolation prize.
Yeah.
He got in, you know. But he can play too.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I heard that they were saying, not to cut you off, Snub, they were saying that Travis Hunter made him look good. A lot of NFL teams
Okay.
thought that Travis Hunter made Shador look good.
That may be true.
Yeah, that may be true. That might be a little true.
We'll see. What, he on the Buccaneers? That's a good defense. He going to have to really show up.
He was Cleveland. I think he got drafted by Cleveland.
Shiloh went to the Buccaneers.
Oh, Shiloh probably did. Yeah. I don't know where he went.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? You'll get punished. Niggas get punished. You know what I'm saying? Just like Colin Kaepernick. They will punish a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Now you kneel at home. How about that? Take this knee in front of your couch. You pussy ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. I know
you don't stand for nothing. You fall for anything.
You know, white motherfuckers rule this country. You know what I'm saying? White motherfuckers.
And the majority, we 13% of this country, and be thinking we shaking shit.
That's crazy.
I returned back to work on Mayfair. I fucked up my MCL. You know what I'm saying? And I go back to work, and I got to go back because I could lose my title. I don't want to. And white folks will be the first motherfucker. And since I've been gone, my staff been running wild.
How the fuck you fuck up your knee? You was crossing niggas' O's? What the fuck you was doing?
Wear and tear. When I talk about the House of Cakes, one time Stack came in, and they had a cake fight. And I started firing niggas off the rip. And Stack was looking at me like, nigga, you just started firing all these niggas? I'm like, yes. And then Stack started laughing. I'm like, don't you laugh, Stack. I put you like, don't laugh. You know what I'm saying? These niggas' jobs and shit. You can't have no fucking cake fight and no motherfucking shit. Niggas will do anything to pull it.
You was firing motherfuckers like... They was cracking jokes like, He was like, you're fired.
Donald Trump, though? You turning...
Man,
you was Donald Trump before Donald Trump?
That shit was
I don't take no wise mouth. I run a tight ship. That's what I've been doing what I've been doing for 17 years. You know what I mean? Because, I don't get ran over. And motherfuckers are pulling. I'm late again. I give motherfuckers the benefit of the doubt. But you know what I'm saying? My sister said the best. You know what I'm saying? You gotta turn up to show out. You know what I'm saying? And when you turn up to show out, that means you gotta be there. You know what I'm saying? A niggas be calling off on Friday, then they try to come get their check. What a nigga? I thought you was sick. You ain't sick enough to come get your motherfucking check.
Direct deposit. You don't gotta do that no more.
Oh, yeah.
Shit come on Thursday night.
Niggas be doing some snake shit. They'll send their mom to get their check. You know what I'm saying? Man. I've been blessed, and I'm happy to have a good family, and my sister always said, like, well, shit, at least you can walk. You know what I'm saying? A lot of motherfuckers can't even do that shit. I look at my old man. You know what I'm saying? How shit was. You know what I'm saying? People got it a lot harder. Niggas be spoiled. And what I don't like is that, like, the way that the pattern of black families are going is that you see less and less of most fathers and mothers together. It's always they separated. It's always I got you on the weekend. You don't see a family in the same household until everybody go away. You don't see your grandmama in there. You know what I'm saying? What do you got to say about that, Steve?
It's actually crazy you say that. You know what I'm going through? My shit falling apart. But I would say that statistically, that
facts and facts.
The black male is in the father more than ever since the 1970s. I saw stats about that.
Say that one more time, please.
The black dad is in the household raising their kids
more than ever. Absolutely,
more than ever since the 70s. Since they created that shit where they kick pops. You know what I'm saying?
Can you read on that fact, please?
Man, all I can do is speak for myself.
You just went to the show with your kid. Yeah, that shit wasn't happening in the 80s.
Every day, all day, I get a healthy dose of them both.
Well, that's
every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I don't have any kids. I guess I was.
Do you want kids?
I wouldn't shy away from a good woman or a kid. I would not. I would not. I would not shy away from a good woman or a kid. I would not. I would just so scared of having kids. And, 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 and what I don't like is that, like, the way that the pattern of black families are going is that you see less and less of most fathers and mothers together. You know, it's always they separate it. It's always you know what I'm saying, back in the day when I was younger, because I'm not gonna say all, a lot of bitches wasn't shit, you know what I mean? You know, I don't wanna be stuck with your fucking hoe ass, you know what I mean? I gotta be stuck with your ass and shit.
That's why I waited till I was 40.
You could always tell the bitch that
You had your first kid at 40?
You could always tell.
He said champ.
You could always tell a woman that
I was late in the game too, 31.
You could always tell. You could always tell a woman that wants something more. You know, when she be like, my son, my kids. You know, it's your son, your kids. Where's my son? You know, women always act like everything belongs to them. You know?
But it's the same thing. I feel the same way when they be like, your son. They be
Hey,
like,
take me to my house.
You know what I'm saying? Be like, your son need, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. You be like, it's all right. You know
That's
what
what happens. They switch it up when it's money time.
Yeah.
He's your son when it's time to pay for something, for sure. Come get him some shoes.
Well, you know.
Your son need a coat.
Definitely yours then.
Man, your son needs a Christmas gift, you know. Dress up like Santa, you know what I mean? You know.
Dress up like Santa.
Buy my kids something, you know what I mean? You can't buy.
My kids something.
Yeah. Whatever you do for your kids, you gotta do for mine, you know. And that bitch that do shit for a nigga's kid, other kid, you know what I'm saying? You know, they did what a nigga to do for their other kid. But when a nigga got kids, you know, a nigga got 3 kids, you know what I'm saying, one by you, a woman ain't got no problem buying something for that one kid. You know what I'm saying? Let a woman have 3 kids, you know what I'm saying, and one by you. And they all together together. You buy your one kid some McDonald's, you know, man, the rest.
Would you do that, Snub? If a woman got 3 kids and your kid called you and said, I'm hungry, and you brought him some McDonald's, would you buy the other kids some McDonald's, or you just buying your kid?
I would buy the other kids. I would, fucking bastards. I feed your ass.
I'd be like, man, come on outside. I'm gonna pull up.
Eat the car.
No, I'm taking you with me.
Right,
we gone.
We're gonna hit the McDonald's play shit and
What
everything.
if you buy your kid a Christmas gift and you don't buy us none? You know?
Yeah, that's kind of terrible on Christmas.
That's definitely terrible.
You gotta hold the team. I ain't buying everybody McDonald's though. I ain't doing that.
You're about to get
Yeah.
Buy everybody some vegetables.
Okay. Let's hit it. Let's get into it. It's a snub nose. Let's get right into it. Okay, so it's Christmas time. Oh, it's Christmas time. And you know, son, like, you know what? This is what I want for Christmas. You know what? I want a fucking PlayStation. You know, kids are into electronics. I want a laptop. I want a tablet. And you get your kid a tablet, and they got joint custody, and you buy your kid something, but you don't get her kid. You get your kid a tablet, and you get her kid some socks and shirts. She should be happy you got them bastards anything.
I thought about it.
You know what I'm saying? But a woman wouldn't buy your kids shit. If you had joint custody of your kids,
I don't know. Some of them,
women be holding it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're about more shit than you, and then make you look like
a clown.
I wasn't gonna buy all that. Stop spending money. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're making me look bad.
I think you're a damn fool though if you get with a woman who got so many kids, like 5, 4. Besides your child.
Yeah, they got to be 19, 21, 25, 26.
Yeah, I ain't playing with you.
Would you, hey, Stack, would you marry a woman that got 3 kids under 15? And, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Why not?
It's no, I know what type of kid I was. And my mama didn't just bring any old type of nigga around me, and I'm not doing that.
And then them together?
It's
3 on 1?
You're going to be resentful. I ain't going to never win in that case. I don't even like going down. I don't play.
They be the ring bearer in the wedding and shit, walking down the aisle.
Scowling and shit. Like, this nigga.
Do you think that if you did that, are you able to discipline the kids?
Do I live with her or not? Do we live together?
Yeah, can you spank that kid? You know, like, can you be like, man, punch him in the face, like, man, piece of ass shit.
Discipline.
You just stole out my wallet for the last time, Jethro.
That ain't happening. But if we live together,
Yeah.
You're gonna respect me. I mean, you're gonna respect me regardless, but I'm gonna have a say so in, like you said, disciplining.
But the woman's loyalty is gonna be with her kids, not you.
That's true. That's cool. But once I move in, we're a family. We're a unit. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can check everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like to some degree. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm dating her, and just say we've been dating for 10 years, but I don't live there. I got
That's
my
what niggas
own.
do. Niggas date
Yeah.
niggas for 10 years. They
Yeah,
don't marry
it's just
nothing.
like-
You my common law wife.
I got my own crib. You got your own crib, and I've never moved in, or you never moved in with me. I leave. You know what I'm saying? Like if shit get to whatever, I'm out. Like, but if I gotta lay my head here, when I say shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Have you ever?
Well, don't come in the basement or whatever little space I've carved out for me. Respect it.
Hey, Stack, have you ever went through a woman's phone?
No, I don't do it.
I never.
I did it. No,
I was about to say. He said ever.
one time.
You feel pretty.
That made you never do it again?
Yeah. But the thing was,
He saw a big old dick in there. He saw a dick bigger than his in there.
the thing was, when I read the shit, the nigga ain't like her.
And she ain't know.
Like,
No,
niggas
she
know.
She thought he did.
She shooting a shot, and he just like, nah, I can't do it. And I'm like, he done turned her down about 15 times to hang out. I'm the only motherfucker she got. Like,
Yeah.
what I'm bringing it
I had a
up
bitch
for?
nobody
I'm about
wants.
to shit.
That's what I'm
I'm about to
scared
hate
of.
on her over this shit.
You asked
Like,
what I'm
fuck
scared
that.
of.
You couldn't even bag dude.
Yeah, you ain't get him. You ain't want shit to do with you.
You asked what I'm scared of. You know, with kids, you know what? I'm scared of being a sucker. You know, that's why I don't have kids. I'm just scared of being a sucker. You know, I don't want to be a sucker. If you see a sucker, lick it.
I mean, that could be good too, though.
Yeah,
So
the
maybe you
sucker
do
part
wanna be a
is
sucker.
Very important.
There's a lot of suckers out here, though. You know, and they having nice lives. You know, that women running around, going to the club while the niggas watch the kids and shit. They come in the middle of the night, you know, with they fuck them dress on, and you know, and they been out. You know, they want to kick it, and they grandmas now. They 37.
I hate when my girl come in from the club wanting sex. I hate that.
You should like that though.
I
least you
ain't been
came home.
drinking. I'm probably asleep. You know what I'm saying? Like on my way to sleep, or you know what I'm saying? It's
I like the wild monster. When the wild
Now,
monster
I want to
comes,
be prepared.
I don't be prepared.
I'm 48 Stack. I gotta be prepared. You
you
know?
gotta be prepared.
Let me know what's
For sure.
going on. Okay, let me get myself in order. You can't don't surprise me with no ass. Okay.
That's true. That's
Wild ass.
That's
You
very
can
true.
surprise me with a little
That's
spoon.
very true. Yeah, when you get to this age, you do have to have some shit
All right,
lined up.
All right.
Come in and 10, and you sitting there laying there. You just got to watching the game.
You need to get up.
You did 8.
I'm gonna be back in 15 minutes. They be like, I'll be back in 15 minutes. Then you come back and she sleep.
Sleep. Yeah.
And you done already dragged off and shit. And
Well,
got
you
your
do
move
give
on
it
right.
to her, and she want to go again. You like, nigga.
That's the wild monster.
She's drunk. You know what I'm
Let the
saying?
monster
You like,
come out.
I'm sleepy now. Thank you.
And then I don't feel like, you know, if a woman wanted again and again, you know, and then you can't give it to her all that time. Like, I'm tired, bitch. You know,
I'm tired.
you know, you be like, man, you ain't gonna fuck the shit out of me all night. I've been fucking you for 10 years. What's tonight? What's so different about today? You know that? Man, just take did I buy you a toy or something?
I see you in the morning.
Fuck
Like,
out
let
my
me get
face.
this little nap, and I promise you,
Yeah.
before I
Fuck
even
out
go to
my
the
face.
bathroom, I got you. I
I
got
thought
you.
dudes just need a little break.
Yeah.
And don't kiss on me while I'm eating and shit. You know, I ain't kissing.
Trying to fuck on a full stomach.
Yeah.
Like, that is the
After
worst.
Thanksgiving, listen, I already took you to my parents' house. You shouldn't even been there, but I took you to my parents' house. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm full, you're full. I didn't even add dessert. Now, you wanna fuck when I get to the crib? Women don't give a shit about
They be
fucking.
trying to get a quickie in your parents' house.
Women don't give a shit about fucking on a full belly. You know what I'm saying?
You fucking on the full belly. Yeah.
Don't give a shit. Nigga be like, come on, can I go to sleep?
Yeah, that shit is.
I didn't get to the
Too much
age where
cardio.
I can just conk out. I
Yeah.
conk out. I fall out.
Nigga, we could plan sex and be like, man, boy, I'm gonna cook this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then, boy, I put these kids to sleep, and then me and you.
Yeah, but
Like, nigga, I'm falling asleep making the plan. Like, that shit sound like, whoa.
you know I want women to know this, and I know they think they're doing a good job. But the worst thing you can do is fuck a nigga before you go to work. All right, a nigga can barely go to work anyway. You know what I'm saying?
I like that too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, which one is worse though? Because women,
because you get weak legs. You gotta stand on.
I get sleepy again.
Yeah, but sometimes it gets you up. Like it'll be like, oh, this is gonna be a great day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like a cup of coffee.
Yeah, sometimes.
Get you a cup of coffee.
Once you bust that nut, you going back to sleep.
Facts.
For a minute, you gonna lay there for a minute. You definitely gonna lay there, close your eyes for a second.
Why be late for work?
Yeah.
Well, why are you late? I was fucking. The fucking should always be an excuse. I always give my staff an excuse. What happened? Fuck.
As a nigga that fired niggas like you do, somebody can say that to you?
I would hope so. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always...
Do it matter if it's a man or a woman?
The only reason you should be able to call off work is for ass.
Okay. Man or a woman?
I don't fuck men.
No.
Faggot ass nigga that work in my job and just I ain't gonna talk about.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? If you happen to you with nosy, do you think women go through niggas' phone?
Yeah.
Men don't really do it. They do anything. You can't do nothing. And men be having to sleep with their phone on their pillow. You know what I'm saying? And women play sleep. They wait for a nigga to get in the shower. That's when they attack. You know that?
Yeah, I've heard all types of shit. Like,
have you ever had a Batman phone? A bat phone just so you can fuck other bitches? No, you don't say that on this. Well,
no, not quite. I was using my son's phone for a little bit, but my phone was broke.
Your son couldn't see that you was fucking hoes?
Yeah, he saw it.
How old is your son?
He's 12.
He knows that.
Yeah, he saw it. He was talking shit. Cracking jokes. Shit, like,
what did he say to you?
Man, Dad, I see what you're doing. That type of shit. I was like, SJ, mind your fucking business.
Well, that's your son. And what do you teach him about women? I don't have any kids. I just want to ask you, like, he's almost a teenager right now. Yeah. He's 12. And I fuck with SJ. I'm his Uncle Snub. What do you teach him about women? Do you have any lessons that you tell him or teach him?
And he loves you, by the way. This guy. I just, he has his own views on things, and I tell him to be much better than I. He wants a wife, and he wants to have his family and be the head of his household. I was like, just keep on living, son. You'll see how this shit go, man.
Where do you get some ass and shit? We probably had some ass. You probably don't even know about it.
Nah, he ain't touching nobody.
How you know he ain't got no ass? How? When you first got some ass, how old were you?
It's neither here nor there. So.
Oh, okay.
I was 7.
You got some ass when you were 7?
Yeah. Oh, you was wildin'.
She was 9.
I was his age.
It ain't no.
You fucked a 9-year-old? When you was 7?
She like, yeah. I mean, she was
in penetration.
It was my babysitter's little sister.
Oh shit!
My babysitter's little sister.
All right.
Yeah.
I was playing a game.
What fuck?
So
you know what it is. Carter.
Who gets
Catch a girl, freak a girl?
Yeah, Carter.
You really did it?
I caught her.
I thought you just filled them
You
up.
probably ran after her like a motherfucker and shit.
I did.
Like a predator.
Sought her out. Knew who was going, type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Man, we did
know your hiding spot.
Yeah. I didn't even close my eyes.
Yeah, that nigga met her there. He's sitting there with his,
met her there.
With his pants on.
Met her there. Crazy. Yeah, facts though.
Hey, I just want to say, I want to give shouts out to my audience. We did a live show today. I want to say thanks for you, Steve. And I want to say thanks for Stack. I want to give shouts out to my brother and my sister. You know what I'm saying? We about to get out of here. And, I just appreciate everything. And we're going to get out here with some Chicago music. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get out here with the Brat. Funkified. Yep, absolutely. Funkified.
What made you go with the Brat?
Chicago, the Bratworths. You know what I'm saying? it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Show.
It's been a great show. You know what I'm saying? And we hit it live. I'll be back here next week, and I appreciate my audience. I hope you'll come back again so that can join me.
Anytime, brother. Anytime.
Yeah, man. You know, I be looking at podcasts and other things. You know, one thing I just try to make sure my shit ain't boring.
This definitely wasn't boring.
You know,
Act it up.
man, shout out to everybody.
What do they say when you say the wrong thing or some shit? The thoughts on the show.
The thoughts and opinions
Yeah.
are not of
We
the
didn't put
network.
this on there.
Yeah.
Peace to Yang.
The disclaimer.